Hello, hello, and welcome to Black Sky Legion, episode number 116. Looking back on 2021, looking forward to 2022. Holy shit, it's good to be back. We've been off for 3 weeks. We took a break to recharge and hit the new year running. I am your host, Kai Zen. I am drinking dragon's milk. Life is good. With me, as always, we've got Tweak74. Say hello to the beautiful people and tell them what you're drinking.
Hello, everybody. It's good to be back after such a long break. So much happening. I, of course, have a trusty cup of coffee that is very strongly flavored with 6 and 20 this fine evening. So,
Nice. Very nice. You got the, what is it, the cream? Carolina cream?
the Carolina cream, the peach Carolina cream.
Oof.
My wife may have re-upped on a few things. So,
Oof. So good. So good. All right. We also have WOLFDRAGON. Say hello to the beautiful people. Tell them what you're drinking.
Hey, everyone. We're back, and Kai's got to push the B-roll button. I have a bottle of Toguichi Japanese whiskey. It's the first one I grabbed when I reached into the place where I keep all the other whiskeys.
What a feb. Right on, brother. Right on. And also with us tonight, we've got from the Star Citizen Research Group here at Black Sky Legion, we've got my man ELIX, who's got himself something special. Why don't you tell the folks about it?
Yeah, so it's a new year. It's been a long holiday. Figured I'm going to start a new year with something fresh and new. I've had a bottle of Lafroig 10 Isla single malt in my house for about 4 months now, and I'm scared to fuck of it because it's a peaty bastard. But it's time to try it right here on the show.
Hell yeah.
That was the cork, opening for the first time. Let's have a nice little whiff out of the bottle. Oh, there's that iodine and smoke. I was actually more familiar with that than I give her a taste here. Yeah, now I understand what people are talking about Lafroig. That is peachy. Woo. Anyway, so that's that.
Hell yeah.
I am now juiced on rocket fuel for the rest of the show, so we're good.
Like I said, you still got to get yourself some knocking, dude. That for me, that's the one. All right.
I live in a distribution-controlled province, but yeah, I'll try.
There you go. All right, so let's start off with, we've had 3 weeks off. Let's take a very brief around the horn and see what everybody's doing. As for me, I've been playing a whole lot of New World. Holy shit, the new PTR dropped just yesterday. There's all kinds of new stuff for the January update, and I am excited. Let's go reverse from the last round, and let's start with ELIX. What you been up to for the last couple weeks?
So I've been trying to get in Final Fantasy 14 with the queues. It's not as bad now as it was before, but they're still bad in the afternoon, evening prime time. So I've been playing other things. I've been, doing holiday stuff, been shoveling snow because, Canadian. Spent the holiday with my family, that sort of thing. Been staying warm, staying inside as much as I can. Haven't actually been playing that much Star Citizen because my computer's a potato and it's just not really fun to play as a game. But 316 should be giving me more performance, and I'm hoping that it gets it even better.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
right.
That's been my holiday.
Right on. Tweaked.
I have been playing absolutely nothing except for Star Citizen since 3.16 dropped.
So good. Tell us a
So
little bit
good.
about
It
it.
is-
Tell us a little bit.
It has stabilized the game. I mean, I know I have not been in Star Citizen for all that terribly long, but it is by far the most stable I've ever seen it. It's just things work way more often than they don't now, period. Whether you're mining, doing missions, waiting for elevators, all of it. It's just I can go for hours and hours and hours without a single bug. It's working so well.
Very
And
nice.
the atmospheric bounties, if you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. The atmospheric bounties are so good.
Nice. Wolf, what about you? What you been up to the last couple weeks?
So, I've been playing a bit of New World. It's just kind of a easy, pick it up, play something, put it down kind of deal. I was hoping to play more No Man's Sky, but the few times I fire it up, I don't know what it was. I don't think I was in the right mood for that game. I mean, it's an awesome game to play, and the best thing about it is it doesn't matter how long I go in between play sessions. It's always there waiting to go. The thing I've spent quite a bit of time in is I've been looking at HunterNet Starfighter. I have
Nice.
that on my Steam account. I tossed a few shekels their way and got a key out of it, so it's not like I got anything for free. I actually did pay them for their efforts, and I hope to see it get further developed. And
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna start seeing what that's like. But I've also come up with a bit of an itinerary in Elite Dangerous. Getting ready to leave Colonia, and I'm going to head over to Sag A. I've got a couple systems lined up to go see along the route, as well as in and around Sag A itself. And then I'm going to start bringing all my crap back to the bubble by way of the scenic tour. And when I get back, I'm going to start doing a bit of the Odyssey stuff, I think. I'm not sold on being on foot yet, but I want to go see some pretty in the game, and there's a lot of pretty to go see from orbit. So that's what I'm going to do first.
Hell yeah, give it a try. Right on. All right. So that's what we've been up to the last couple of weeks. Now, we're going to have a short show tonight. We're literally just going to get right into it. There's, everybody's been sort of off, so news-wise, there's not a whole hell of a lot. It's more, this show is going to be a look back at 2021, what we liked, what we didn't. Look forward at 2022. Some half predictions, some what we're worried about, some what we're hoping for, some, what we're interested in seeing how it plays out. So let's jump right into 2021. How about we start with ELIX? Go around the horn on space stuff. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sick and I'm still doing the show. So sorry. I'm trying to mute for most of the coughs, but I missed some here and there. ELIX 2021, whether it was space games, space books, space movies, space TV shows, space actual shit, James Webb and whatnot, Elon Musk and whatnot, any of the anything. Go around the horn and let's bring out your shit, and everybody we're going to do this real relaxed as he's going through. If you have a point to add or clarify or modify or whatever, just hop in. We'll be respectful, but we'll just kind of keep it flowing real conversation style.
Yeah. So what I actually want to do is I want to just quickly go over the major things that were added in each of Star Citizen's patches.
Go for it.
Because when you actually look at it over, everybody was complaining about how 316 was gutted and there wasn't very much there and a whole bunch of stuff was moved out of it. But when you actually look at the whole year, a lot happened. So first of all, they added new kinds of caves with different entrances, so you can drive in on land vehicles. So you can actually do rock mining inside caves, and flying for ships with sinkholes.
I just did that a couple nights ago.
They had the new mission types. They had quantum sensitive deliveries, multi-drop time deliveries. You had, those sort of things. They use those in Xenothreat.
Mm-hmm.
There was mining subcomponents.
Mm-hmm.
Those are only a year old. Believe it or not, some vehicles now, some ships and stuff now can be named. Mm-hmm. Not everything yet, but vehicles and ships now degrade over time. They actually generate wear and tear if they don't blow up first, and you don't lose them to a bug first. You can dock a Merlin into a constellation now, so we finally have ship-to-ship docking after all these years.
And ship-to-station docking. Yeah.
Yep, that's the next thing. We got. In 3.13, we also had the Rock DS, even though everybody laughs about it.
Yep.
The new Cyclone and the Tumbril Nova, the Tonk. We also got the Starlifter M2 and C2. And Herx, yo.
And Bomber Play.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting to that. I'm going through it patch by patch. That was 3.13, and then we had Xenothreat. 3.14 introduced Orison and Crusader. With all those lovely clouds that ran like ass for a long time, but capacitor systems. They overhauled the management system, and now the power triangle acts a lot like Elite Dangerous pips, which is a good thing because the way they worked before was kind of dumb. New updates on the radar and scanning and ping. New UI, and also new gameplay. Missiles were kind of better in 3.14. You got missile operator mode. They added surrender, even though it kind of doesn't work still. They improved the ship HUDs with the sliced HUDs now, even though there's still problems with them. They finally brought out the Connie Taurus, so now the Constellation line is complete. At least all the ones that they've sold in the past. 3.15 came out with the big personal physical inventory. Now your shit is stored in one station or one planet, and you got to go there to get it.
Am I mistaken, or did you skip over refineries in the Lagrange points? Because those were added.
I might have skipped over that bit.
Those were added in Q1 of. They were like part of the stuff was put in Q4 of 2020, and part of it was put in Q1 of 2021.
Yeah, I did leave that out off the list that I've got in front of me, but yeah, that's valid. That's true.
Yep.
They tacked on the rest of the refinery work in Q1. So that happened. We also got bombs, as you talked about before. Also in 3.15, another big one was healing. Now you don't just instantly die and respawn. You go down and people can pick you up. There were drugs added. That changed gameplay a lot. And there's also a lot of bugs that people felt really screwed, dying and respawning in hospitals a lot. But then there was the murderous hospital carts. They added the Spartan. We got an APC, baby. The raft. So now we've got just a good old industrial hauler that literally just picks up cargo boxes directly. The 400i exists, and it came out in 3.15.
It's no longer the 404.
That's true. So did the Redeemer, and it blew the hell out of everything. The A2 Herc came out with those bombs. We got the Ion and the Inferno.
They blew the hell out of everything for like a week, yeah.
And we got Clouds added to Microtech.
You've skipped the two biggest things of the year, my friend. You were negligent. Number one, if you were to ask 100 Star Citizen players in 2020, what's the biggest problem with this game that's stopping you from recommending it to your friends? They would have told you 30Ks. 30Ks are now muerto. Also,
completely valid.
The Argo Cargo, greatest ship in the game ever.
Well, the Argo Cargo wasn't new in 2021.
No, but it was the greatest ship.
The Argo Cargo reigning supreme as the best ship in the history of all mankind. That happened in 2021.
Such a meme.
That wasn't a patch release.
Bro, right now we've got like 90 fucking Carrick bros that are just pissed at us now. It's hilarious. Come on, man. Just relax and enjoy the meme. It's silliness. It's just silly. Yeah. All right, but that was a great roundup.
3.15. Then there's 3.16, which is the last one. They improved Dying Star in Arena Commander. They brought out Jumptown 2.0 and had people lining up to politely buy their drugs. We've got very polite drug dealers in the future, so that's an improvement for humanity. We've got a lot to look forward to. The Area 18 got their hospital. And what I consider the most important update, they got the Gravlev rework in, so the space bikes actually work properly.
I think also, not to be that guy, but I mean, I'm not trying to be pedantic, but I think you mentioned the survival medical gameplay aspect, but I don't think you got into the whole physicalized inventory,
That was the first thing you mentioned.
No bag of holding. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah, no, I got to that before the medical. That was the first thing in the patch. That was the big one. But yeah, that also happened. That radically changed how we play the game, because now you can't just reach into your butthole and pull out anything you've ever had.
And the last thing is, so many new people came to the project courtesy of Elite Dangus and had their Neil Armstrong moment. So God bless you. Congratulations to all of you.
Welcome commanders who are now citizens. And keep on asking questions if you ever run into things. Remember that you're playing an alpha. But so that's basically that was the major patch updates. There's obviously a ton of things. We could spend the entire show just going through the patch notes, and nobody wants that.
Yes.
The 30K stuff, that wasn't like a major roadmap thing. That just kind of happened because they're working on persistence and all this.
But it was one of those things that's so big that it was bigger than the roadmap. It just was.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I don't disagree with you at all. Like,
Yeah.
you're completely right to bring it up. Anyway, so that was Star Citizen this year, I think.
Right on.
Or last year.
Right on. Tweaked 2021. Your highlights, your lowlights. Let's not kick Elite too much, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, 2021 will always be the year that I was able to get into Star Citizen. Had never expected for that to happen, or you know, ever expected that to happen, and then to actually get to experience, I think at just the right time where Star Citizen was turning the corner.
Yes.
It has totally kind of changed the way I play video games at this point in time.
Nice.
So,
And prove to your wife
and I think,
that you weren't silly for hanging out with your internet friends.
right, those space nerds, as she calls us.
You
But
tell
I
her,
think
hell
2021, you also have to keep in mind with other space things, the Galaxy's Edge series. They're in season 2 now, and it is every bit as good as season 1 was. If you're not reading or listening to the Galaxy's Edge series, you're missing out. There's some really good stuff.
Hell yeah.
And the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett have all come around in this last year, and we all have thoughts about these things. But
Do you want to take
Mandalorian was great.
Do you want to take a second to very briefly, at a high level, mention your Elite saga, your sort of deeply in love, totally out of love, kind of back in love trip? Or no? It's fine either way.
Well, I mean, yeah, in my gaming history, you have to look at 2021 was the year that I broke up with Elite Dangerous, really, because I was strictly playing Elite for the better part of the last 4 or 5 years. And now it's very much on the back burner. I mean, I was playing Elite and Odyssey, and I was having a good enough time with it while I was waiting for the wipe to happen. But quite honestly, now that I have access to both, and since 3.16 has dropped, I can't get myself to click on anything other than Star Citizen. I can have whatever space adventure I want to have in Star Citizen, whether it be combat or mining or going sightseeing or whatnot, flying my ships. It's all there. It scratches every itch at this point in time.
Oh, I get it.
So I've got something positive about Elite to say.
All right.
So obviously it was not a good year for Elite. I think we can say that. But if there's anything that being a Star Citizen fan for years has taught me, is that you don't get to the really good times without running through hard times. And it's been a long time since the Elite community really had to suffer through the hard times, like before launch, basically. And so they can always fall back to, well, here's the playable game. So it's kind of hard to go through the hard times when they come back up again. And Frontier's had some missteps. But if they keep up with it, if they stick with it and they believe in Elite and they put the devs to that work on that belief, I think that we're going to see Elite actually improve from where it's at in a way that's going to pull people back. It's not going to pull the people back who have said, this is the last straw, I'm done. But I think it's going to get back. Because like the procedural terrain, the way they're doing Planet Tech now is kind of like Star Citizen's way of doing Planet Tech. And ideally, it should allow them to incrementally improve it and make it better the way that Star Citizen has revised its Planet Tech.
Pretty good now. It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, so I think that like it's been a rough year, but there's brightness on the horizon. It's up to Frontier to snuff it out if they're going to screw this up.
We'll see.
So I think I think we're good. But
All right, Wolf.
Well, we can't talk about Elite last year and this year without mentioning the console debacle and the fact that they still have not said anything new about it. It's becoming a real, if it wasn't already an issue before the Christmas break, it's becoming a bigger problem amongst the community now than it ever was before, I think. People are starting to really give up again.
Yep. All right, Wolf. 2021.
2021. I'm just gonna do a quick drive-by through a couple and then
All right.
park on one for a second, and then we can transition towards our 2022 stuff, maybe.
Mm.
No Mansky with all the expeditions. That was fucking awesome.
Hell
Those are
yeah.
probably the most interesting and neat part about No Man's Sky, and they just turned them all back on for everyone to do at their leisure.
Hell yeah.
Which, you know, previously to that, it's like, oh, I missed one. You know, it's not hard to mod the game to give you the reward or whatnot, but you miss out on the experience. So that was cool.
Mhm.
Does bring up some questions about what January 11, 2022 might bring, but we shall see about that.
We shall.
Other things. 2021 for Star Citizen is me as a casual observer who is not emotionally invested in the project whatsoever.
Mhm.
2021 started showing me that they really are serious about making it really a game, adding in stuff that needs to be there, polishing some stuff up, fixing some big issues like the 30Ks. I think they're making some serious headway, and I'm hoping that 2022 is gonna keep that coming. And again, we shall see.
Hell yeah.
Elite 2021. I'm just gonna call it the year of, oh god, oof. There's a laundry list of things that we could bring up without even having discussions, and we would be here for the next several hours. We're not gonna do that. The latter part of 2021, we had the change up in the CMs, and it appears the CMs are actually doing the jobs of the community managers, of being that voice of they're talking to us from the dev side and we can talk to them, and that's actually getting pushed up into the dev side. We've seen a lot of things make it onto the okay, we'll work on that, and things that have gotten quality of life passes, you know, some of them haven't been completely done yet, or some of them are still, they're trying to figure it out. I get it. Software dev is hard. But they're actually there doing that function, and it appears that they're listening, so that's good news.
Okay.
We're supposed to get fleet carrier interiors. That's awesome, because I can remember one CM that said that was completely out of the fucking cards. And we've seen some leaked video footage of what it looks like, and I gotta admit, the fleet carrier interiors look fucking awesome.
Cool.
Man, if they had only put that level of effort into the stations, and who knows, maybe they'll come back and give the stations a quick little dust off to make them match up a little bit better.
Maybe.
They also said that they were going to look at the engineering grind. I mean, all of us here who have done Elite for any particularly length of time, especially with just Horizons, you spend a lot of time working on your ships. Now, they didn't specifically say what part of the engineering grind they were going to look at, but, you know, there's on foot and there's ships. They're both grinds. Maybe they're both fair game. Who knows? We shall see. Now for the really interesting one, and we were talking about this just before the show started. That clip with, hey, I think that was Bruce Garrido in that Mamba light that on the scan looked like a dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
And then after getting interdicted by a Cow for All Seasons, known ganker, decided, I'm not playing around with this. You're not going to kill me. And he popped a Xeno EMP and just walked away. I have no idea what that actually means, if it was just dev trickery or whatnot. I don't know if he's going to get in trouble for being able to show that you can just do that because you're a dev and now you're abusing players. Or maybe that's them taking a completely different method of teasing at something to come. Again, we shall see.
Yeah,
A lot of things.
That would be interesting
of
because
things,
so
if you-
far everything that Elite's ever done is it's an announcement of an announcement date for an announcement of an announcement. And this is literally just a thing that happened off their stream, off ours, off whatever. So either A, somebody probably Bruce, but somebody playing the accredited astronaut account done goofed, or B, they took the stick out of their butt and showed a thing as a little cheeky teaser. And if they did, God bless them. That's smart for once. Hell yeah.
I gotta say, things are possibly not looking as grim for all these games as some people would have liked us to believe in 2021.
Hell yeah. All right.
I like it.
Get to your last thing that we wanted to make sure we got to.
All right. The James Webb Space Telescope.
Hell yes. The JWST.
This thing. Oh my God. If you don't know what the hell this is, you have been under a rock. And for the love of whatever deity that you believe in or not, go do a Google search. Currently, they have gotten through a lot of the deployment steps. They've actually gotten the left side of the primary mirror deployed. Now they got to get the right side. This puts them through 75% of the single point failures that will kill the mission.
Yeah, there were over 300 of them. Just first off,
yeah.
when they launched, before they launched, NASA said you could predict anywhere from a 5 to potentially as much as 10-year space deployment, like actually doing science for the JWST, the James Webb Space Telescope. The launch was, if you watched the launch live, you heard them over and over and over say, nominal, 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 nominal. And just to translate, here's what nominal means. Nominal means everything worked perfect, we ain't got to do shit. And what that translates to is we don't need to waste fuel. And what that translates to is a press statement that NASA made yesterday that said, due to the extraordinarily high level of perfection of the launch trajectory, vectoring, and all of that, you can now expect that James Webb Space Telescope will operate its science mission, quote, for significantly longer than 10 years. That is not a home run. That is, imagine playing a game of baseball and every time your team came up to bat, it was a home run. That is a series. That's 100 home runs. That is just fucking beautiful. And then in addition to that, what Wolf was kind of saying, for all you non-engineers in the crowd, when it was launched, it wasn't a telescope. When it was launched, it was like a folded up tractor trailer that had 300 and some odd parts that had to slowly, excruciatingly slowly deploy so that nothing ripped, nothing broke, no motor, no anything, because any one of those failures could have potentially been, all right, mission's over, we wasted billions of dollars, and everything thus far has been a 100% success. They're through 75% of the sort of stretching and moving and getting sails set up and getting blockers set up and getting mirrors set up. And as of Sunday evening, they will be 100% through. And then it will be a fully functioning space telescope, just be it one that's traveling on its way to Lagrange Point 2 in the Sol system to begin its science mission. I'm sorry to interrupt, Wolf. I just had to sort of explain to the non-engineers some shit. Go for
it. You're good. So there is one system that I want to point out that is on the JWST that I thought was super interesting, and I will try not to completely nerd out on it. If you look at the pictures of the JWST, there's a heat shield on the bottom because this is an infrared telescope. Well, in order for you to see things in infrared, you need to be colder than that thing is. So it's got this big heat shield on the bottom to direct the sun's light and thermal energy away from the mirrors and the stuff that you think of as a telescope, the telescopy bits. The other thing it has is essentially it's an air conditioner. It's actually a heat pump, but it's an air conditioner like you would put in the window of your house. But instead of using R410 or whatever it is, I know cars use R410. I mess with them all the time. it uses helium. Because when helium boils, it goes from a liquid to a gas, that temperature is as cold as they could make the CCD, the charge coupled device that actually does the imaging. How ridiculously awesome is it that we have figured out how to take not the smallest molecule or atom, that would be hydrogen, but use helium to not only don't let it leak out, because if it leaks out, it's not going to be able to see the cold stuff no more. It's going to see other stuff, just not the super cold stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting it out past the moon. It's staying there, and it's arguably one of the coldest places in the universe at our disposal to go and discover whatever we pointed at for the first time in human history.
And
that, to me, is just awesome.
And to be clear, this thing has a couple of mandates. Number one, it's going to be able to see back to the beginning of time. Literally, it's going to see back like to the Big Bang. And number two, it's going to be able to see out to sort of the edges of the universe. It's a radio telescope. And number three, and this to me is the one that I know I'm geeking out, but potentially it's going to be able to see, I forget, is it Phoebe or Persephone? The fabled 10th planet that we've all been sort of, it's been a thing that's been like, if you do the math of the orbits of stuff, everything doesn't fit. There's supposed to be some either super massive planet or teeny tiny micro black hole that's out beyond the Kuiper belt that we just can't see, but a radio telescope will be able to pick up and pinpoint and be like, oh yeah, there it is, it's there. And it's a micro black hole that's just super far away on the edges of our solar system. Or it's a big ass, like bigger than Saturn type big ass planet that's just out there. I'm excited. All right. I think it's my turn. 2021. I started off the year as a content creator for Elite Dangerous, and well, y'all know how that went. I don't think I need to say any more about that. I have been making content for Star Citizen and loving it. I've made content for and enjoyed, got myself into and enjoyed Nomansky. I'm super, super in love with and just enamored with season 1 of Foundation on Apple TV, season 6, really just all of the Expanse. The last book of the Expanse series just came out in the last month. There's just so much good stuff to enjoy there. James Webb Space Telescope. Yes, absolutely. The changes of the things that's happened with NASA, phenomenal. I gotta say, we have had a series of NASA administrators. Under Obama, we had a good NASA administrator. Under Trump, we had a good NASA administrator. Now, under Biden, we have a good NASA administrator. Like, I'm not a partisan guy. I'm saying all of the administrators on both sides have been really good, and I'm so thankful for that. And the role that NASA is continuing to play, just super, super psyched. Very, very happy. Yeah, The Expanse, Foundation, all of it, so good. Loving Star Citizen, loving Nomansky. Willing to give Elite another try, maybe sometime soon. We'll see. Yeah. So 2022. Oh, and I gotta throw in an honorable mention. Just loving everything to do with Elon Musk. I know he's a controversial guy. Some people love him, some people hate him. But just from the standpoint of not looking into him as a person or commenting on any of the whole situations of like what it's like for people to be super, super rich on a planet where so many people are struggling. But like just what he's doing as an engineer to further the entire space program, dude's a fucking saint in my book for that, ignoring all of the rest of it. Um, all right, so let's get to 2022. You know what? I'm gonna start. We'll go backwards. I'll start. 2022. I'm excited for James Webb Space Telescope to be doing science. I'm excited for a continuation of the Artemis program and the return of humans to the moon, with the idea of not being a political stunt, but more being a permanent base for doing science, and continuing our baby steps, extending out into space, extending out into the unknown to push the sort of push the horizon of human exploration further, and I'm so excited for that. Check out, if you have not, check out on Netflix. There's a show called Don't Look Up, where it's, you know, about like these scientists find an asteroid that's coming down to gonna hit planet Earth, and they tell the politicians and
Oh
the
my
people about
God.
it, and the people are, everybody's kind of like, well, I mean, it might not happen, and it's like, look up, you see that? It's there, it's happening. Love it.
Kai, you know damn well that Don't Look Up is this decade's Idiocracy.
Yep. 100%. Looking forward very much to Star Citizen and sort of some positive changes in the future. I think last year was the year that, you know, the game came together sort of as a game. Play loops opened up, survival, healing, 30Ks died, combat got balanced around multi-user vehicles, as opposed to always just solo vehicles and like have 19 solo guys in a ship. So much has changed. I kind of feel like Star Citizen, in a way, it's that project that's making super rapid pace moving forward, but like you don't know if it's ever going to get there. But like, I have faith. I love the project. I love the audacity. I know some people shit on it because of that, and I think that's because we've become a people who are too used to being cynical, too used to lowering our expectations and expecting companies to lower their output to meet it. And Star Citizen, for better or worse, maybe it's genius, maybe it's a huge failure in the making, only time will tell, but I feel that I just love anybody who's willing to swing for the fucking fences, man. There's not enough of that in this world, so even if it fails, and I don't think it will, but even if it did, God love them for trying. I'm gonna give Elite another try. I'm gonna give it, you know, sometime in January, February. I'm gonna kind of get back into it and see what I see. I'm super excited for Starfield. I'm super excited for the next season of For All Mankind, which I neglected to mention in 2021. One of my favorite shows in the history of my life. It's so amazing on Apple TV. So excited for Foundation Season 2. So excited to see, because they've been really cheeky. So excited to see what happens next with The Expanse. They've been really, really cheeky and said like, well, yeah, that's the end of this show. But like, for people who don't know, where they're ending The Expanse at the end of Book 6, Season 6 is equivalent to Book 6. It's a place where the second arc of The Expanse ended, and then there's like a 20, 30-year gap in the story, and then the story picks up again for Books 7, 8, and 9, which just came out like a month or two ago. And I would love to see the show get picked up for another arc to finish it out. I would love to see where that goes. I just watched the second to the last episode of the current iteration today, and it was so good. Avasarala is my queen, and Drummer is my boo. I pledge my undying love and devotion to Drummer. So I'm excited. There's a lot of cool stuff to come. I'm enjoying New World, which is not at all a space game, but I'm enjoying the living hell out of it. And honestly, I'm finding, because I gave that advice to some other people who I'm like, yo, you need to just chill out a little bit. Star Citizen is great, but like, it's not there yet. Play it, But when you get frustrated because it's not a full release game yet and it's in alpha and alpha has alpha, then go play other stuff. And I took my own advice and God, I'm loving it. But I find myself more and more sort of recharged with hope and interest in getting into doing stuff in Star Citizen. I definitely am interested to see where Nomansky goes. And I want to get past my shit and give Elite a fair shot again. So that's me. Why don't we go to ELIX?
So for 2022, I'm hoping that we see, for Star Citizen specifically, I'm hoping that we see some of the big boys come out. Like they've got to hit, they've got to get persistence in.
Hell yeah.
Like their goals for persistence, and they're working on it, but they got to get there, and they got to get server meshing. Like they got to get server meshing in a patch in 2022,
which means that we will get fucking
Pyro.
What's Pyro, and that also means we'll get 4.0, which Pyro is means we'll get 4.0.
Server whatever patch is server meshing is 4.0. But here's the key though. There's a difference between server meshing in a patch and server meshing that works cleanly and nicely. Because I'm sure that when that patch I would not be surprised if that patch spends so long in PTU that they have to kick it off PTU and go live only because it's time for the next patch to go to Evocati PTU and they need the servers.
Also, there's a huge difference between dynamic server meshing and static server meshing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm talking about static server meshing. They're going to be going hard on dynamic server meshing once they get static in, because it's just an immediate step that they want to go to. Once they built the frame, they want to paint it, nice colors, kind of thing. So, but that's a thing for after they get it out. And when they first bring it out, it's going to be rough. It's not going to be clean. It's not going to be stable. It's not going to be nice and smooth and perfect. But that will come with time. And just having it working at all is going to be massive. And they need to have that happen this year. On top of that, I'm hoping we see something related to salvage actually in the game. I'm hoping that at the very least we hear when they want to bring out Squadron 42. If not the end of this year.
I think we're going to get it launched for Christmas, but that's just me.
I'm sure Chris Roberts wants that, and I'd like to see that, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But we're far enough back that we can't see the whole roadmap for the year yet. So it turns out once they show the rest of the roadmap, it could be that that's completely probable.
Yep.
Don't know. But for Star Citizen, there's going to be a lot of small things. If you asked me what is it that I want them to do, I'm just going to give you a list and we're here for 3 hours. Nobody wants that. But those are the big ones. And those are the big things that I think they need to nail. Also, I'd really like a new star map, because that's actually something they have to replace the star map before they add Pyro, because I'm pretty sure that the old star map is hard coded to only work on Stanton.
Okay.
Because it was built when there was only one system. So they got to replace it. So we'll throw that on the list. For No Man's Sky, I hope that they continue on with their awesome shit and doing new stuff and keeping out this cadence of regular great patches with lots of new things. They're Hello Games is really just get kind of on their stride, just driving forward, and that's great. And I already talked about what I think is positive about Elite, in terms of their stance. I hope that they actually deliver on at least some of those things. I hope we get Odyssey on console so that they can stop bleeding away the entire console base. I hope that they improve the planet tech even more, and by that I mean develop it further than it is now. That might not be something that happens in 2022 exactly. They got their hands full with Odyssey right now, and who knows how long that's going to take to clean up. But I'm hopeful that they deliver on the promise that they've set for themselves, even if they're not there yet. So yeah, I think we're you just gotta look for the positive and not dwell too much on the negative. But I think we're gonna see positive things in 2022.
Beautiful. Tweaked. What are you looking forward to in 2022?
2022 for me is really, for Elite Dangerous, is the make or break year because one, as Elix just stated, they have to make a commitment one way or another to console and get going forward in that regard.
So there have been multiple
But
people, like even Down to Earth Astronomy put out a video where he's like, "Hey guy," in his very nice, very sort of
Yep.
very very nice, very
Steady
Dutch
and
way
Astro.
has said, "Hey man, enough is enough. We need some kind of an answer. Even, I mean, whether it's, hey, it's happening, it's not happening, a time frame, something like it needs to be addressed at this point. It's getting a little silly." And he's absolutely right. As always, if anything, Down to Earth Astronomy will say all the things that need to be said a month or two late because he's too fucking polite. He's just such a sweetie that he's like, well, let's give them every benefit of the doubt and only address it when it's past reasonable. We're there. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all good. Beyond getting the console stuff situated, for the grand scheme of the game, I believe FDev has to go to bat like they've never done before, really. They need to kind of do what CIG is doing and start producing patches every few months with new content in it, which, change the missions, new ships, new whatever. Just keep going above and beyond, much like when we saw the fleet carrier interiors. I'm pretty sure the general consensus is we were actually impressed. Like they went above and beyond. And that's what they need to do with every aspect of everything they release this coming year if they want to save the game. So that's what I'm looking for from Elite. For Star Citizen, I'm just looking forward to God knows how many more patches of amazing content that is going to make an already amazing game even better. It's crazy to me where the game is as of right now today and all the stuff when I look at 3.17 and 3.18 that is coming already. It's just it's an embarrassment of riches in a space game that I've never seen before.
Books, movies, TV shows? Real space?
Books. Like I said, books. The Galaxy's Edge series is cooking along and it's so good. TV shows, the Book of Boba Fett started, and it's gotten through 2 episodes, and I won't give any spoilers. I will just say, as an avid Star Wars fan, I love The Mandalorian Season 1 and 2. So far, I'm a little underwhelmed with the Book of Boba Fett. It's not bad. It's just not great yet. We'll see what happens.
Okay. All right. Wolf, 2022. What are you looking forward to?
I think in my sort of segue transition to this part, I covered what I'm looking forward to in the space game setup. I'm really hoping we find some neat shit with the James Webb Space Telescope. I mean, every time we send up a tremendously advanced piece of hardware into orbit, whatever we're looking at, or we make a tremendously advanced scientific instrument here on Earth, we always find out new things about the universe, and that's just cool to me. As far as media and stuff goes, I'm looking forward to The Expanse. I'm really curious to see what the next episode has to bring, and if there's, like you were alluding to, the possibility of maybe a follow-on, tongue-in-cheek, whatever thing. That's got my attention. I am waiting for All Mankind.
Oh my God, where they ended last
where
season.
That left,
Holy
where
shit.
that left off. Oh, it is for those of you who have not seen it, it is an alternate timeline of the space race, and where they left off brings it up to and a bit past actually the present day.
Oh, for sure. Well, no. So
And
time-wise, they're in the 1980s. But where they're at in the advancement of space, I'll just say it at this point, it's been a fucking year. They're about to come out with the new ones. Where they ended it was the first human footsteps on Mars, which is like, fuck yes, give me all of it. Just shut up and take all of my money. How much do you want? Do you want $1,000 for the season? I will pay you for it. Let's get it going. Let's go, boys.
yeah, it's the story they portray, the way they portray it, it is so very well written, and I want more of it, and I want more of the Foundation. They've taken some artistic liberty with making things
Lots
make
of it.
sense to a visual viewership, but the story they're telling is just flat out amazing, and I think 2022, if we're to believe what they say, we're gonna have the second Dune movie.
Mm-hmm. The second part
Am I
of the
remember that?
Dune movie,
The
yes.
second part of the Dune movie.
He's been very
Uh,
clear to say that it's one
oof.
arc story and it's just being told in 2 parts. Yes.
Yes, Yeah, you're never gonna say Liv Villeneuve's name correctly.
Mhm.
And I can barely say it correctly, so.
But I love that
you're not too
man.
far off.
I love that man.
He has done the story justice, and it is so good.
Hell
If
yeah.
you have not seen Dune, go see Dune.
Hell yeah.
I should mention too, coming 2022 and beyond on the Star Wars front, very soon we have the Obi-Wan Kenobi live action series coming,
Mhm.
which looks pretty amazing so far.
Mm-hmm.
After that is the Cassian Andor live action series, which looks like that's going to be pretty well done so far. So we'll see about that. And
Hell
some
yeah.
news just broke yesterday that Amelia Clarke has signed on to portray her role as Kira, whom was a character from the Han Solo movie,
Uh-oh.
Solo, a Star Wars story.
Nice.
And people can shit on that movie all they want, but it actually was pretty well done.
Mm-hmm.
And her character was quite intriguing with the way it ended. So, I feel like there can be no spoilers in a movie this old now. That her character ended leaving to go meet with Darth Maul to work with him as
Mhm.
a leader of the crime syndicate. So
Mhm.
I'm very curious where that show could lead, and that could mix in with all of these other, the Mandalorians and the Book of Boba Fett and
Hell yeah.
all of these types of shows that are intertwining with each other to turn into an amazing Star Wars universe on TV.
The only thing that was wrong with the Han Solo movie, not enough Billy Dee Williams. But other than that, all right. I feel like we've covered all of the major points of what we were sort of excited about from last year and what we're hoping for and excited about next year. Want to go around the horn and just give everybody a chance to pull out last things that they may have missed or want to just add to. So, Elix, go. All right, Wolf, go.
I don't have anything to add.
Elix can't hold his Lefroy. Go ahead.
I was muted. I
Elix-
was muted, and I was talking into the muted microphone, not realizing I was muted. I'm sitting here like, well, but, and then it's like Kai's like, all right, Wolf, go. I'm like, well, fuck.
All right, we're cutting him off.
Go,
He's
Wolf,
had too
get
much.
me. No.
Wolf, then Elix, go.
Go and pick me up. Yeah.
I think we covered all the points I really wanted to talk about.
Beautiful.
I mean, we had a nice time off. I got a chance to recharge, spend a bit of time with the wife, do some housework, play some video games, and we're back in the saddle again, boys. Let's go.
Hell yeah, and we're getting out of here in a zippy 1 hour, getting people the conversation, and then getting out. Elix, go.
So I just want to wish everybody a happy, safe, and healthy 2022 because we got a lot to look forward in front of us. There's, I hope, good things on the horizon, and we just got to be positive about it. And here's to everybody.
All right.
Cheers.
Tweet, go.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing a whole lot of Star Citizen this year, I think, with the content in there and all the different game loops. And just to tell a quick story with these game loops, we were doing an atmospheric bounty, me and a friend, and As we approached the last target, we saw like a giant gaping hole in the ground.
Whoa.
And when he exploded, we realized he was inside the hole. And when the ship exploded, it illuminated the interior of what turned out like the mouth of a giant cave system.
Mm.
I flew my ship down, my Gladius down. He had his arrow.
Mm.
We both flew into the mouth of the cave, landed, got out. There were different cave tunnels to walk through. There were rocks that we could mine. It was a pretty amazing experience to just stumble across as we were doing an atmospheric bounty.
Very nice. Very nice. As for me, I've said it all. I love you people. Go play some space games. Read up about the James Webb Space Telescope. Get excited. Get engaged. Don't get the Rona. Tell people that you love them, and try to live your best life. We love you. We're out. Later, freak bitches. Oh my God, I'm in an invasion and